Hi, everybody. Claudia McMullen here from Fluffy Cow Coffee. And as I'm sure you all know by now, Fluffy Cow Coffee is a coffee roasting company on a mission to support farm animal sanctuaries. And we do that by partnering weekly with a specific farm animal sanctuary around the nation. And we have a week-long online fundraiser where I donate $2.50 for every item sold on the website during the course of the fundraiser. And this week, we are with the lovely Denise Montrose from Tennessee Cow Rescue. Hi, Denise.
Hi, Claudia.
How are you?
I am good. I'm good. Happy Friday to you.
Happy Friday to you as well. So tell our fans, the Fluffy fans, because we know your fans already know, but tell the Fluffy fans and everybody out there all about Tennessee Cow Rescue. How did you start? Where are you located? What is your mission? That kind of thing.
Yes, you bet. So this whole thing happened very unexpectedly. I moved to Tennessee in 2017 and bought a house where I planned on retiring. And on my 50th birthday, I left the neighborhood where there was cow pasture next door and happened to see a tiny little white calf all by herself. And of course, had to stop and check it out. And then that turned into daily visits. And then that finally turned in meeting who was taking care of this orphaned calf. And then before I knew it, I owned this cow. And in my HOA environment, they weren't going to let me keep her. So, long story short, in the end, I decided to sell that house, buy vacant land in McMinnville, Tennessee, which is about an hour and a half southeast of Nashville. And with my 160-pound dog, I moved into an RV and lived in the middle of a pasture so that I could keep Elizabeth.
All right, we have to unpack this story a little piece by piece because I want everybody to really understand what we're talking about here. You, Denise, moved to Tennessee, Nashville, Tennessee, 7 years ago, basically to retire. You bought your perfect retirement home because it was one story and it had an ability to have a mother-in-law suite so that you could age into the home and you could take care of your aging parents before you age into the home. And you were not in the world of animal welfare at the time.
No, I had done some dog rescue in years past, and Buddha, my current dog, was a rescue that we adopted. I had never had a cow, never lived in the country, had never lived on a farm, had no idea what in the world I was doing, but I was obsessed with this cow, and I would visit her for at least an hour and a half every day, and I would play music for her. Cows are herd animals and they want to be with other cows, and she was totally alone, and I could just tell how sad she was. And every day I'd go over and play music and talk to her, and the first time she sat down next to me on the fence line to listen to music, oh my gosh, it broke my heart. And I just was obsessed. I was obsessed with finding a solution to give her a better life. I had absolutely no idea that I was going to be opening the Tennessee Cow Rescue.
Right. So again, just to unpack that story, this origin story a little more, because it is an unbelievably fantastic story. Just so that people know, you sold the house.
I did. Yeah.
Because Elizabeth couldn't stay at the house. You bought Elizabeth. You finagled a way to get Elizabeth. You got her. You live in a place that has an HOA that doesn't allow a cow on the premises. So you sell the house.
Yeah.
You buy property in the rural area of Tennessee, and you live in an RV, all to give Elizabeth a fantastic new life.
Start on life. Yes, totally true. And when I hear someone else say it, or when I look back at it, I'm like, that's absolutely insane. I mean, the risk that I took, it was extraordinary. And I don't think a lot of the people who maybe know me from this community realize what I gave up to save this cow.
Right.
And I have to tell you that this community has been super, super supportive. They don't have any reason to necessarily be supportive of my mission. I live in the middle of beef country where people are raising cows. I've never lived in the country. I'm from the north, never been a farmer, and they are always willing to help.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
wonderful. Now tell us about, okay, now you have Elizabeth.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have these 40 acres and you're living in your RV with your 160-pound dog.
Yes.
On the 40 acres.
I have 14 acres. I wish I had 40 acres.
Okay, 14 acres.
Yes.
Now, do you have any other residents on said 14 acres?
Yes, we have 7 cows, a mini cow that's handicapped, a lamb. We were just gifted a livestock dog, so we have a new livestock puppy here on the farm. And we now have 9 farm cats.
That's great. Now, do you have volunteers come and help you?
I've had volunteers here a couple of times, but it's not something that I have on a regular basis. I wish I did. We had it was our first annual volunteer day scheduled a couple weeks ago, and I came back from a business trip with COVID and had to cancel.
Oh, geez.
And it ended up probably not being that bad of a deal because it absolutely poured that day.
Oh, God. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to having volunteers here at the farm in the future moving forward, because it's very difficult for me to do it on my own. I can't, and I'm not very good at admitting I need help, but I do need the help. And then we also will be opening to the public on Sundays starting in the fall.
Awesome. Now tell us about what's your vision for Tennessee Cow Rescue?
Well, I'm surrounded by land that is also vacant. So I'm hoping that I can buy some of that land to expand. If not, then I see us buying other land somewhere very close by, because we're kind of almost at our maximum resident count, and we definitely want to help more cows. Now, one thing I can tell you that ended up being a surprise for me was that initially I figured I was going to help Elizabeth and how many of other cows we could have at this farm. What ended up being a surprise to me is how many cows I help that have never been here or won't live here. So people contact me all the time and say, I need help. This cow is blind and I can't take care for it. This cow wandered into my yard. I don't know where it came from. I need to get rid of these cows I had as pets, and I will help rehome those cows. And I have had farmers from the community call me because they've been in a situation where they have a calf that can't stand up, which is what happened with our mini cow Sanjay. That's called a dummy cow. And they call me because they're maybe not happy with the vet recommendations that they get here in rural Tennessee, and they want new alternative solutions.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's really awesome to hear.
Yeah, I actually went to a farm of someone who has become a friend. He's raised cattle for 20 years, and I actually called my energy healer on the phone to help with his calf. And I just remember looking at his face, and he's like, what in the world is going on? But he let me do absolutely everything. It didn't matter how off the wall it was, because he wanted to offer that calf the best care that he could. And I have seen that in the farmers who live in this community, is that even though they're farming animals, and I wish no one did, because as a vegan and as an animal activist, I want all animals to be able to live their life. But I can tell you that I'm seeing on a daily basis that the farmers' level of consciousness is just raising.
That's great.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it would be a huge step to get rid of industrial farming. Right? Like if we have to live in a world where animals are food, the more farmers who understand that animals, while they may be food eventually, should be treated well as fellow sentient beings during the course of their lives, and they understand that, I think that would be a massive, huge step forward.
Oh, for sure. And I've talked about that before, and then I take some heat for it from other rescue owners. It's not realistic to just say that no one's ever going to eat an animal again. So I feel, just like you mentioned, that that's one step in the right direction, is that we end factory farming. And I think that if the average person knew what happened at those factory farms, they would agree.
Right, because it would be it's a huge step.
It's a huge step.
This is not a tiny step. If we could somehow raise awareness to how animals are treated in factory farm situations, raise the awareness of that. I mean, this is why Beth and I always talk about how much we love working with farm animal sanctuaries, because one, so many people don't even know there's such a thing as a farm animal sanctuary. So we're spreading awareness, right? Which is great.
Thank you for that.
We're spreading awareness of a need, right? And we're spreading awareness of the fantastic work thousands of organizations like yours are doing around this country to have any kind of impact they can in this world of farming animals.
Right. Right.
So,
and a lot of it comes from education. I never put a lot of thought into where milk came from. I never put a lot of thought into where leather came from. There were times in my life I paid extra for calf skin leather. Now, looking back on that now, I'm thinking, where do you think that calf skin leather came from? Right. So, my life has changed, and it's because of education. You start to talk to people about milk. A lot of people have the perception that cows make milk all the time. Yes. They're just a milk cow. They have no idea that that cow every year has to have a baby, and that baby is taken away from that cow so you could drink the cow's milk. And you tell people that, and they go, I had no idea, and now I'm going to start drinking almond milk. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a win.
Right, that's a win, right. So now, Denise, tell me, because we talked about the residents at Tennessee Cow Rescue, and I know you're up to, you said 7 cows?
I have 7 cows and then the mini cow.
Okay, and tell us where did the 7 cows come from? How did they come to you?
Yeah, so Agnes was the second cow that came. She was brought to me by someone who, on a whim, bought a bottle calf at a sale barn and didn't realize how much time it took to take care of a bottle calf, and she didn't want it anymore. We had 2 Holsteins that currently live here that a farmer, this was a large dairy farm here in Tennessee. They were going to kill these cows, and I had just hired a farm vet, and she said, hold on one second, I just met this crazy lady who moved here to open a cow rescue farm. And that 3rd generation dairy farmer who said her grandfather or her father would never ever bother to do it, she drove an hour and a half here to drop those 2 Holsteins off. Yeah. And those Holsteins were covered in ringworm, and they had pink eye, and both of those things are very contagious to the herd. And I ended up keeping them in quarantine for about 3 months before they were healthy, and they went into the pasture. And then Sanjay came to us. He was the dummy calf, the mini cow whose leg was damaged during a difficult birth, and he was unable to stand or walk. He lived in the RV with Buddha and I for about 5 weeks. Mm-hmm. And we rescued Fernando. He is a male, so we rescued him from a dairy farm because there are no need for male Holsteins or male cows on a dairy. If they're not turned into veal, they're usually just killed. That's how we got Fernando.
That is something people don't know either.
Yeah.
There's no use for a male cow on a dairy farm.
Exactly. So there's only a couple things that they will do. It depends on the size of the farm and if they're set up for veal or if they have a veal connection. A lot of times they'll kill them. A lot of times they'll sell them for cheap. Mm-hmm. Most of the time they're just eliminated or sent to veal. So we were happy to save Fernando. Mm-hmm. And then the farmer that I mentioned before, who asked me to come and help with a sick calf that he had an 18-year-old cow who had given him 20 calves. And he said, now that I've met you, I've been thinking about it. And this cow made me a lot of money. And this is, again, an example of that level of consciousness increasing. I don't want to take her to the sale barn. I don't want to slaughter her. She deserves better, and I'd like her to come and retire at your farm. And that's how we got Grace. And I put it out to our supporters and said, Grace is coming to live here. She currently has a calf. It's her 20th calf. There's nothing wrong with the calf. I'd like her to keep it, but we need to pay the farmer. So the farmer donated the 18-year-old calf. We paid him for her 20th calf, and Frankie lives here with us.
And when was that? How long ago was that?
They came in November.
Wow. All right. So now let's talk about the fundraiser. So just FYI to your fan base, one, our coffee's damn good.
It is.
Not only, we're not just a coffee company on a good mission to support farm animal sanctuaries. We don't just rely on our mission. Our coffee is really, really good. Two, if you don't drink coffee, there's other things to buy. Like we have swag, we have cow swag, goat swag, pig swag. We have the most adorable mugs, which I'm going to grab. Where's mine? Shut up.
Super cute.
Shut up. Yep. Drink coffee, save animals. And the fundraiser began Monday morning and ends Sunday at midnight. So we want to get the word out. We want to spread the word, spread the love, make sure people are buying this weekend to buy. And I also wanted to let people know that we will be launching a affiliate program shortly, which means going forward, your fan base can continue to buy Fluffy Cow coffee products, and we'll still donate to you in the future, for infinity and beyond.
Awesome.
So that's awesome.
That's
because
great.
you're a partner, so now you're part of the affiliate program, which is fantastic. And then the last thing I wanted to chat about is now, Denise, like just say we just kill it this weekend, and we can raise like $300 to $500. What kind of impact would that have on you and Tennessee Cow Rescue?
We have, I could use that money in a million places, to be honest, but we've decided to put that money towards Sanjay's house. So because Sanjay is a handicapped mini cow, he had to have his own place. Okay. So he got a house before I did, is really what happened. He's got his own, place. And we currently are running a fun fundraiser of our own, kind of like along the thought of buying a brick for all or a pathway. Yep. We are painting a farm mural on the back of Sanjay's house, and people are buying a flower, a pig, grass, a tractor, a farm, and then we're painting the mural sometime this summer. Wow. And then everyone will there's a plaque there as to what they donated. But we're going to put the money from this fundraiser towards that project.
Fantastic. All right. So now the call to action time, Denise. We're going to spread the word for the rest of the weekend. We're going to share this thing. We're going to get people to buy because we want to help Sanjay get into his new house.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We want people to buy coffee, and if they are willing, we'd love for them to follow us on social media. That's super helpful. It's difficult for a new rescue to get the notice that we need. So if people are willing to like and share, whether it's either the coffee fundraiser or our posts, that would be super helpful.
Yes, we got to spread the word far and wide about Tennessee Cow Rescue and all the wonderful things you're doing down there.
Yeah, we've got big plans for the future, and we're going to need those volunteers, and we're going to need more funds, and we need more land so that we can help more cows.
Not to mention, we got to support the ballsy broad known as Denise Montrose, who gave up her life for Elizabeth.
Oh, I know. Who gives up their entire life?
A cow sanctuary.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's kind of close to, me giving up being an attorney at 55 and starting a coffee roaster.
Sell coffee.
Saves animals.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a midlife crisis we went through, Claudia, or what the heck was going on.
But the fact is, we're kindred spirits, damn it, Denise.
That's right. And we're just going to make a difference, one cow and one coffee bean at a time.
There you go. That is a terrific way to end this live stream. It's been so fun to chat with you. And I look forward to talking to you on Monday, and Beth will reach out and let you know how much we raised, and let's hope it's big.
Yay, me too. Well, thank you, Claudia. Thanks for starting the company and for doing what you do. We appreciate it. And I'm so glad to have met you guys.
Thank you. Back at you, Denise. Have a wonderful weekend.
You too. All
Okay.
right, take care. Bye.
Bye.